Imagine waking up to the blare of a bullhorn at 6 a.m., accusing your perfectly legal floating home of being a property value destroyer, all while the real criminal hides behind a clipboard and a fake smile. That's exactly what happened to me. But little did this HOA queen know. Her obsession would unravel her own empire of embezzlement in the most deliciously ironic way. Buckle up, folks. This tale of petty tyranny and sweet revenge will have you cheering from your couch. Let me paint the picture of Lake Haven, a slice of suburban paradise in upstate New York where the water sparkles like a postcard, but the air's thick with unspoken rules that could choke a fish. Picture manicured lawns meeting gentle waves, retirees sipping coffee on wraparound porches, and weekend dads revving jet skis like they're auditioning for an action movie. It's the kind of place where neighbors wave hello but whisper judgments behind closed blinds. Me? I'm Alex Rivera, 47, a freelance graphic designer who's more comfortable behind a screen than at block parties. After a messy divorce that left me with a lighter wallet and a heavier heart, I inherited my uncle's rickety cabin on the East Shore. It was a fixer-upper nightmare, leaky roof, wiring from the Stone Age, and a foundation that sagged like my post-marriage morale. But hey, it was mine and I needed a reset button. Enter my genius idea. Build a houseboat to live on while I renovated. I'm no stranger to DIY. Weekends used to be for sketching logos, but I've got a knack for tools from helping my uncle restore old boats as a kid. So, I pieced together this cozy floating pad, solar panels for power, a compact kitchen, even a little deck for morning yoga. It was eco-friendly, Coast Guard certified, and anchored off my own dock, which predated the HOA by decades. No harm, no foul, right? Wrong. In Lake Haven, live and let live is just code for follow my rules or else. The air smelled of pine and possibility those first weeks, with loons calling like nature's alarm clock. I'd sip black coffee, watching mist rise off the water, thinking I'd finally escaped the rat race. Little did I know, the real rats were on shore, sharpening their claws. The Pine Ridge HOA lords over about half the properties here, a self-appointed council of busybodies who treat covenants like holy scripture. They've got fees for everything. Dock paint colors, lawn heights, even the appropriate number of bird feeders. Most folks grumble but pay up, fearing the scarlet letter of a violation notice. And ruling this fiefdom? Enter Vivian Caldwell, the HOA president who's equal parts Stepford wife and neighborhood Napoleon. She rolled in 4 years ago from some corporate gig in finance down in the city, all pearls and power suits, with a husband named Harold who's about as vocal as a potted plant. Vivian's the type who smiles while stabbing you in the back. Blonde bob haircut frozen in place, nails like talons, and eyes that scan for infractions like a hawk spotting mice. Community standards. She'd coo at meetings, but it was code for my way or the highway. She'd find the Garcias for garish holiday lights that were just multicolored strings, hounded old Mrs. Ellis about her unkempt wildflower garden, and even pushed to ban gravel driveways because they lacked curb appeal. Classic Karen energy, wrapped in a veneer of civic duty. My first encounter with Vivian was pure theater. I'm tinkering on the houseboat one sunny afternoon, the scent of fresh varnish mixing with lake breeze, when she motors up in her gleaming speedboat, clipboard in hand like a weapon. "Mr. Rivera?" she calls out, her voice honeyed poison, docking with the precision of someone who's never heard no. She's in yoga pants and a visor, looking like she's about to lead a Pilates class for the elite. "I'm Vivian Caldwell, HOA president. We've had concerns about this structure. It sets a concerning precedent for our aesthetic guidelines." I wipe my hands on a rag, keeping cool. "Nice to meet you, Vivian. But my uncle's deed predates your HOA. This is grandfathered in, fully permitted by the county." Her smile tightens, like a rubber band about to snap. "Well, standards evolve, don't they? We wouldn't want anything detracting from our property values. I'll be keeping an eye on this." As she speeds off, I mutter to myself, "Great. Neighborhood Watch just got to upgrade to Neighborhood Witch. If only I knew how right I was." Things simmered at first like a pot on low boil. Vivian started her surveillance op, snapping photos from her dock daily, zooming in on my solar panels like they were contraband. Then came the petty complaints, noise violations for my whisper-quiet generator, even though it ran on sunshine most days. At the next HOA meeting in the community hall, with its fluorescent lights buzzing like angry bees and folding chairs squeaking under shifting butts, she stands at the podium, projector humming. "Fellow residents," she intones, clicking to a slide of my houseboat circled in red like a crime scene. "We must protect our serene lifestyle from unconventional elements that could invite chaos. Imagine if everyone decided to float their homes." Next thing, it's a shantytown on water. Murmurs ripple through the crowd, some nodding like bobbleheads, others eyeing her skeptically. Harold sits in the corner, staring at his shoes. I raise my hand from the back. "Vivian, quick question. Does this apply to the Thompsons' oversized gazebo that's technically over the setback line?" She falters, lips pursing. "That's under review. But your situation is unique." Unique, my ass. It was the start of her selective enforcement circus, and I was the unwilling clown. The boil turned to bubble when Vivian cranked up the heat. 2 weeks in, I'm out adjusting buoys at dawn, the water lapping peacefully, when engines roar. Coast Guard, Sheriff's Patrol boat, and Vivian trailing in her boat like a triumphant admiral. The young Coast Guard officer boards, clipboard ready, face stern. "Sir, reports of safety violations on this vessel." I gesture welcomingly. "Come aboard, inspect away. Built it myself, redundant pumps, fire systems, all up to code." 20 minutes later, he's grinning, shaking my hand. "This is top-notch work, Mr. Rivera. Who wired it?" "Me," I say, glancing at Vivian bobbing nearby, her face souring like she'd sucked a lemon. "Graphic design by day, tinkerer by night." She yells over, "But what about community aesthetics? This sets a dangerous precedent." The officer shoots her a look, the kind you give a yapping dog. "Ma'am, aesthetics aren't our jurisdiction. Safety is, and this passes with flying colors." But here's where the irony kicks in like a mule. While he's filing the report, he mentions multiple anonymous complaints, filed under fake names. Bingo, harassment, documented. That afternoon, I hit the county office, learning about selective enforcement, the HOA's kryptonite. If they pick on some while ignoring others' identical sins, their rules crumble like wet cardboard. I started my counter-op, a digital fortress of evidence. Photos time-stamped, interactions logged in a spreadsheet that'd make a CIA analyst jealous. My design skills helped, color-coded timelines linking her nitpicks to bylaws she ignored elsewhere. Word spread like ripples on the lake. Neighbors sidled up at the bait shop or dock. Vivian fined us for our rainbow dock lights, said they were tacky. She complained about my early fishing starts, but her pals blast music till midnight. The Garcias shared stories of reunion shutdowns over excess vehicles. Each tale painted Vivian as the queen of hypocrisy, enforcing rules like a dictator with favorites. Vivian, sensing the tide turning, called an emergency meeting. The hall's packed, air thick with tension and stale coffee. She clicks through slides, graphs of plummeting values if non-traditional crafts multiply. What's next? Floating trailers? We must vote on bans. Dramatic pause, eyes sweeping the room like a bad actress. Harold nods mechanically from the side. I stand, voice steady. "Vivian, explain why my boat's a threat, but the Miller's dock extension, way over code, gets a pass? Or your own speedboat, parked illegally half the time." The room hushes, her jaw clenches. "Those are grandfathered. Yours is new." Lame excuse, met with eye rolls. Post-meeting, whispers buzz, "She's got favorites." I drive home under starlit skies, realizing this wasn't just my fight anymore. It was about dethroning a petty despot who turned neighbors into suspects. Her response? Double down like a gambler chasing losses. Certified mail arrives. Emergency vote on watercraft bans. Time to nuke my setup. But Vivian underestimated the old guard, the lifers who'd fished these waters before HOAs were a thing. I spent weeks chatting folks up, not campaigning, just listening over beers at docksides. Old Mr. Harlan, 85 and feisty, griped while baiting hooks. "Got 3 boats, kayaks, her rules scrap 'em all." Been here 50 years. Ain't changing for some city snob. The Garcias echoed. Our family picnics? Banned because too many kayaks? When did fun become felony? But the real zinger? Digging into HOA finances during my divorce honed suspicion of money motives. Bylaws demand transparency, so I request records. Numbers scream foul. $50,000 on beautification, with zero visible work. $30,000 yearly maintenance on docks that rot untouched. $20,000 consulting to shoreline advisors. Owned by Vivian's sister's husband. A Google deep dive confirms the nepotism scam. Most HOAs hide slush funds. I note in my log. Audit time. Vote night. Hall overflows. Chairs scraping. Air humming with unrest. Vivian's presentation dazzles with photoshopped before/after horrors. But Mr. Harlan stands, voice gravelly. Lived here since '72. We fixed each other's boats, shared catches. Now voting if my skiff's traditional? This ain't community, it's control. Vote tanks, 55 to 25. Vivian's face cycles through rage shades. Priceless. But defeat fuels her fire. She lawyers up, fancy city firm, billing like bandits. Letter lands. Sue for nuisance, boat gone in 30 days or court. I chuckle on my deck, heron fishing nearby. Post-divorce, lawsuits are old hat. Bring it, I think. While her sharks circle my boat, I catalog her sins. Code violations galore, ignored for allies. Their research boomerangs hilariously. Hunting dirt on me, they survey the lake, and oops, Vivian's dock jets 10 feet illegal on county watch lists for eco-violations. Report slips to me via a sympathetic clerk. Irony gold. Her witch hunt spotlights her own broomstick. Same week, board elections loom. Mr. Harlan nominates me. Alex fights back with facts, not fines. Election feels festive, cookies, real coffee. I win 82%. Applause thunders. Vivian slumps. Harold whispers, tough road ahead, kid. First move, forensic audit. Not expecting Armageddon, but Sarah Lee, my divorce accountant pal, uncovers chaos. No bid contracts, phantom services, receipts faker than Vivian's concern. Smoking gun. Those consulting fees ballooned 300% under her, funneled to family. This screams embezzlement, Sarah says. Total skimmed. $142,000 over years, padding her standards with stolen dues. We build the case like a fortress. I rope in Mike Torres, a pro bono lawyer buddy specializing in HOA takedowns. This is multi-community fraud. Her fams hit other lakes. Victims emerge. Garcias with parking tickets during fiestas. Harlan's yard fines while allies' weeds thrive. Tom Hale, local builder, shows underbids by her in-laws' firm. Strategy, legal hammer, financial trace, community voices. Feds file embezzlement fast. FBI probes. Vivian panics predictably. Weekly meetings we host. Coffee, cookies, shared horrors. Linda Hayes, no kin logs. Fined for a birdhouse, excess ornament. While Henderson's gnome army stands proud. My database links theft to distractions, harass to hide heists. Vivian's counter. Crisis PR firm spreads smears. Alex's divorce made him bitter. Manipulating seniors. Backfire. Community rallies. Her PI digs my past. Finds honesty gems. Ex-boss. He reported our overbilling error. Ex-wife. Drove miles for 75 cents change. She doorknocks victims. Shows up at Harlan's with scam articles. Alex is the thief. Harlan laughs later. She cried when I asked for proof. Pathetic. Garcia's host, support Alex barbecue. Gravel crunching under cars, stories flowing. Her last gasp. Special meeting to vote down my vendetta. We tip media. HOA scandal brewing. Meeting night. Hall mobbed. News vans gravel crunching. Reporters buzzing. Vivian struts in late, expecting sycophants. Finds 200 plus. FBI lurking. Her suit-clad consultant preps smears. Personal grudge from unstable divorcee. Twist. Channel 5 live tweets Sarah's charts. Stolen sums exposed. Vivian starts. Certain agitators pursue Harmony's ruin. Reporter interrupts. Comment on $142,000 embezzled? She snaps. Fabricated by a mentally unstable man. Indie accountant stands. Verified. Payments to your in-laws spiked 300%. Explain. Room freezes. Vivian melts down. Fine. Alex harassed me with that eyesore boat, destroying my vision. Cameras roll. I took money for the community to keep standards from trash like him ruining us. Consultant facepalms. It's about excluding the wrong people. Mask off bigotry in standards drag. Crowd erupts, folks exit in disgust. Garcias. We were wrong for our culture? You stole our dues. Harlan. Not your lake thief. Meeting ends. Vivian alone as cruise pack. Next day, warrants, arrests. But that night, her empire crumbles publicly. 3 weeks later, county commission's routine turns spectacle. 300 cram in, live streamed. I front row with timelines. Sarah's visuals glow. Patricia Klein, state prosecutor, charges. Embezzlement, fraud, obstruction. Spanning 6 HOAs. Vivian's new lawyer whimpers. Bookkeeping errors. Impact statements crush. Garcias on cultural shaming. Harlan on elder bullying. Hayes on hypocrisy. My turn. Started with a legal boat she hated. Her attacks exposed her theft empire. Slides flip. Her pointing at my boat. Cops confused. Each escalation built her noose. Commission greenlights full probe. Assets freeze. In the end, Vivian got 2 years probation, restitution, banned from boards. Lake Haven? We reformed the HOA transparent, fair. I finished the cabin, kept the boat for weekends. Cosmic justice. Her dock got demolished for those violations her lawyers uncovered. Property values? Up thanks to real community. But tell me, was Vivian the real villain? Or just a product of a system that lets petty power corrupt absolutely? Drop your thoughts. Right or wrong?